Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive JT. Today we're going to start a little demodization, demolition, mod removal on the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. I'm going to go a different route. It's time to change things up a little bit. So we've got some things we've got to remove, and the more I look at it, it's going to be a rather lengthy project, but we're going to start with one part today, and that is removing the brake lights that I've put up here. In case you didn't know, these light up when I lock the truck, when I put the four ways on. They're tied into the brakes, or the lights, the tail lights. So whatever the tail lights do, they do. But they're not going to be in my next application, which isn't even going to be, well, part of it's going to be for the Jeep Gladiator. So we've got to remove them. Now, the first thing that I need to do is pull the tail lights. So if you've never seen how to do this, maybe you're looking to change out your tail lights. It's pretty simple to do. There are two bolts, screws, one here and one here. Strangely, they are 8mm, not 10 like everything else that I run into. So we're going to go ahead and pull those out, and then we're going to pop the tail lights. And I have some wiring. I used a tap on each side to remove so that we can pull the wire to remove those lights up there. That's going to be interesting too. I'm not sure if they're rusted on or not underneath. Who knows? But anyway, first things first, let's get the tail lights off. Okay, these are pretty simple. Generally, you can do it by hand. You don't even need to use a ratchet because they don't put these screws on very tight from the factory, and I did not put them on very tight when I installed these aftermarket tail lights. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those. Like I said, that's pretty simple. Now, to remove the tail light, should be able to pull out a little bit and then kind of off to the side, if I remember. Seems to me they were pretty easy to get off, at least the OEMs were at first. Let's see here. Okay, that's sideways, and then straight out, just like that. Pretty darn easy. Now, if you look in here, you should be able to see my addition, or at least I'm hoping, if I can figure out where I put it. It's probably higher up, actually. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just remove the taillight altogether. There. Just pulls right off. I should have actually connected it down here maybe, but I didn't do that. So up inside here, we have my addition, and there is a little tab up underneath here. It's actually right up under here. You kind of have to pull down. That will give us a little more length on this wire, which we need. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Would help to have a pry tool, by the way. So let me grab one. Flashlight never hurts either. Let's see, where am I? Yeah, there is a little piece that holds it in. It's actually not even connected, so I guess that doesn't really matter. The one you want is actually right down here. I think you guys can see that. This is the pull thing you want to remove, not up above, so I had the wrong thing. So you just want to pry that out like so, and then we should get a little more play, yeah, in this wire. And you can see my connection right here. And then I grounded it right down here and right there for the ground. So I'm going to go ahead, untape it, and remove the wires, and then we can do the other side, and then we'll get on to pulling it through to take the light off of the top. Okay, got the lights disconnected. You can see the wiring hanging there. Not too much carnage, a little bit of electrical tape left over, and then two little splicing parts, I guess, from splicing into the wiring on the truck, and that's it. Putting them back on was just as simple as taking them off, just the opposite. So now I have to pull the wires down and then pull them up across the bar there. I ran it through the bar, and then we'll be able to take the top lights off. So pulling these off, hopefully, won't be too difficult, or pulling the wire, I should say. I did wrap it. And there's nothing holding it in. As you can see, it was just kind of stuck under there. So now, pull it through the bolts, because I'm not taking the bar off just yet. And then up here in the front, we have to get to this, which I did zip tie, I guess. So I need some wire cutters. Whatever one might want to use to cut stuff. And I did that to keep them from dropping down, of course. So there's another throwaway part. And that's it. That takes me right to the edge here, which I also zip tied. So I'm going to cut that end off. Then I should be able to pull off the rest of the wire loom, and that exposes the wire. Now, I do have a connector on the end here. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that because trying to pull that through my grommet, through my holes, does not sound like a lot of fun. So I can pull that out. And then got to feed this wiring up through the tube. Got spider webs out here. The spiders love sport bars, by the way, so if you park outside at all, just be aware you're going to have spiders because they love it. All right, let's see if we can't feed this through. And my grommet popped out. I guess it's not surprising. There, that gets my wire all the way out. Now I want to go ahead and stick the grommet back through the hole, of course, because I want to protect that. But you get the idea. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, the hard part is done. Next part is just to remove the lights themselves. They're held on by a, let's see, 14 millimeter bolt. So I should be able to finagle my way in here, hopefully. I mean, I did put them on, right? There we go. And then I have a bunch of washers on there. And apparently I had one underneath as well. I did, a lock washer. So we've got that off. Now I got to do the other side, which should be just as simple. And then part one, I guess, of this Jeep remodel project or Jeep demolition will be done. And there you have it. Okay, got it all done. Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. The splices were easy to take out. Just electrical taped over them to cover up where the wire was exposed. They should be just fine. One thing I really like about those little tapper things, so simple. The lights are off. You can see they're sitting here. Maybe I should mount them here on the back. Huh? What do you think of that look? No, I think I'd look like a chase vehicle for wide loads or something. I might have looked like that anyway. But that's what the truck looks like with them off. Have to admit, it does look a little bare without having those on the sides. I've gotten so used to having them. Now I just have the 5 lights in the middle, and it looks like it's missing something on both sides. Doesn't really matter because it's going to go anyway. Now, well, the last thing that I have to do, which will be not today, because I don't have time, is right here. This wire runs down underneath the cab, up to the front, across the engine bay to the controller that I have, the Visor switch. I'll have to disconnect that up front, pull it through, and then the bar really will be free. All I have to do is unbolt it from the sides, lift it off, and then reinstall it or store it, whatever, maybe sell it, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, that is the Jeep demolition project for today. I do have something coming for it. It's the whole reason I'm taking this off, so stay tuned for that. If you have a guess, leave it down below. I'd be curious to know what you think. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about the Honda Civic, and Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.